question, Prabhuji. We often hear this term pure devotee. Is there any way by which we can really define who is a pure devotee?
Yeah, there is a definition of pure devotee given by Rupa Goswami in Nectar Devotion. I think this is 1.1.11, I think. So he says, Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam Iti Bhaktir Uttama. Pure devotion. He's defining pure devotion.
And that is, we take it as a definition of devotion.
Anybody who practices pure devotion, he's pure devotee.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. So what is pure devotion? Pure devotion is anybody Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam, anybody who serves Krishna in a favorable way to please him without any materialistic desires, Anyavilashita Shunyam, and uncovered by or unmixed with speculative knowledge and material profits and gains.
Gyan karma.
Gyan karma dhyanavritam. If the person practices devotion, this kind of devotion, pure devotion, is a pure devotee. That's all. So in that sense, all of us are pure devotees. I'm just excluding myself.
No, but this is more of a, I think, subjective definition, because if we want to identify like who is a pure devotee, because practically we need to see what are the different levels of devotees.
See, that's all.
So is there any objective?
This is objective only. You have to see he doesn't have materialistic desires.
Okay.
And he will not have to say, you simply talk to him. Within 5 minutes you can know why he's doing devotion, why not he's doing
that
devotion.
way.
Yeah, that's all. It's objective way. You can easily understand what is his motives, intentions of doing devotion. He's here for money, he's here for fame, name, prestige. Simply by talking we can understand.
Okay. And one more there was one more query. Many times we see that many senior devotees or like even if we deal with any devotee, we see sometimes that devotee is touching his feet and not washing his hands, and there are many such actions.
So what that has to do with pure devotion?
Yeah, exactly. That was my question. So on the basis of such actions, can we discriminate whether he's a pure devotee or he's not a pure devotee?
No, that's simply training.
Okay.
Training in etiquettes.
So etiquette.
He might not be trained in etiquettes, but he might be pure devotee.
He might still be a pure devotee.
Yeah. I mean to say, pure devotee is not a person who's come from spiritual world.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I wanted to come to the same point, because we have
anybody can be a pure devotee. I mean to say, he can be a pure devotee. Pure devotion means you have to see the intentions.
Okay.
He might not be so strong in devotion. He might be weak in his heart, might be weak.
Okay.
And he might not even know all philosophy, intricacies of philosophy. It's not even necessary. If his basics are clear,
okay,
Krishna is supreme, I have to serve him, I don't have to ask him any material thing. By my words, by my actions, by my thoughts, as far as possible, I'll try to think about him, remember him, and serve him. That he's a pure devotee. So a pure devotee might be not a perfect devotee. That's the whole point.
Would you please elaborate on this?
Perfect devotee is who's free of all material contaminations, whose mind is completely pure, who doesn't have any bad thoughts, anybody who's non-envious, or the technical definition of Uttama Adhikari.
Yeah.
So that is, Uttama Adhikari is a perfect devotee.
Yeah, he is a perfect devotee.
But then we also have Madhyama Adhikari. He's also a pure devotee. But what's the difference between Madhyama Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari? Madhyama Adhikari is not Shastra Nipun, he's not that perfect in Shastras.
Mhm.
That's the definition of Madhyamadikari. He's not so advanced that he can preach to hardcore atheists. So it's advice for Madhyamadikari, neglect hardcore atheists.
Mm-hmm.
So Madhyamadikari is not a perfect devotee. We know he's still advancing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not perfect devotee, but he is a pure devotee because he's practicing pure devotion.
Because his intention is pure.
Yeah, because intention is pure.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to get rid of his vices.
Yeah. I just want to interrupt you on this point. He wants to get rid of his vices, or has he already won over his vices?
No. Pure devotee is not a person who has won over his vices.
Oh, he's also trying.
Yeah, pure devotee means his intentions and goal is pure.
Okay.
That's what Prabhupada defines pure devotee.
Prabhupada gives this definition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, what's the point of practicing pure devotion?
Mm-hmm.
A person who is practicing pure devotion, he's not a pure devotee. What do you mean by that?
Because usually we have a notion that that some empowered personality
Yeah,
or a
so
staunch
that's
devotee, he's only a pure devotee.
That's a wrong understanding. That's the point.
Okay.
His intentions, he still might have got vices and imperfections, but he wants to get rid of it and he wants to become perfect
Mm-hmm.
because his intentions are pure.
Okay.
His thoughts might not be pure,
Mm-hmm.
his actions might not be pure,
Mm-hmm.
his words might not be pure, but because his intentions is pure, he's a pure devotee.
Oh, this sounds very encouraging. Like now it seems possible that we can also become pure devotees in this very. Because up till now we had thought that we cannot be pure devotee in this life or maybe in next 100 lives. But now since you have given a very clear definition of who is a pure devotee, then it seems now possible for a common person like us to practice devotion and become pure in this
We are
very
pure
life.
devotees. I'm telling.
Okay.
You are again saying wrong thing.
Okay.
We are pure devotees, but we are not perfect devotees.
Okay, that way. Okay. Because our intention is pure, but we haven't achieved the goal as yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
So that is one way to look at this. Prabhupada looks at this whole issue like this.
That's why Prabhupada was telling to his servant that why aren't you a pure devotee?
That's why Prabhupada is telling to all his disciples that you all are pure devotees.
Oh, he's telling his disciples that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's another way to look at this. That a pure devotee is a perfect devotee.
Okay.
Generally, so pure devotee is a perfect devotee. That's one way. Or another way is pure devotee and perfect devotee is different. So there are two ways to look. But Prabhupada takes it as the first way, that pure devotee, everybody is pure devotee, but intentions are pure, but they may not be perfect. General notion, people think that pure devotee is a person who is a perfect devotee.
Yeah, general
Both-
notion is that.
Both concepts are there in scriptures. Both concepts are there.
Okay.
But Prabhupada takes the concept that is more practical,
Yeah, applicable to
because he's seeing
everyone.
the intention. He's not seeing the action, words, and thoughts. He's seeing intention. He's seeing more deeper. He's going more deep in the person, in his heart, and he's seeing the intention. Intentions are pure. So that's a more deeper view.
And that's why Prabhupada was able to bring up this movement
Yeah,
to that level,
yeah,
worldwide level.
yeah.
This is really illuminating for all of us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.